So I haven't posted a YouTube video for a while. I've been stuck in London for quite a long time now, but I might put this up on YouTube next week. So this is a walk I've done. This is Putney Bridge. I started at Kew Bridge, about 5.5 or 6 miles down there this morning, and I've shot loads of film, so I might put a video up, and if I do, I'll use this as the first video, although it's the end of the walk. This will be the first video clip to get it started. Yeah, so it's Fulham Football Stadium, this is Putney Bridge, and I'm going back home now. It's been a really nice walk. This park next to Putney Bridge, which is part of Fulham, that park is amazing. You'll see it at the end of the video. It's worth coming just if you want to chill out and you live close to this area. Definitely want to hit that park. And these benches by the river all the way along here, really nice and quiet and shaded. Woo! Right, I'll sign out there. So I've just got off the bus at Kew Station bridge stop, and Kew Bridge is just over here. I walked last year on New Year's Eve from Richmond to Brentford and finished it with, oh, look at that tower, that's really impressive. Yeah, so I'm gonna, Brentford Stadium's just there behind those new flats, football stadium. So I'm gonna walk today from Kew Bridge to Putney. Should be good. So it's quite beautiful here. We're just heading down to the Thames. We've got this cafe here. It's a very posh area. Kew Gardens is just on the other side of the bridge there. Really hot day. I think the walk might be 5 or 6 miles from Kew Bridge to Putney Bridge. I've got the bus here, take the bus back, different bus. But got my packed lunch, got my croissants, my banana, my water. Let's go! There is a path on the other side, but I just thought this would be more interesting. I'm on the north side of the Thames. You've got like Fulham Palace and Fulham Football Ground to go past. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we are, Kew Bridge. You are here, so I'm going along Strand on the Green, Grove Road, Hartington Road, and around. God, it's quite a long way actually. It's a quarter of a mile. And then Fulham and Fulham Football Stadium. We've got Chiswick House, Finsbury Park, Brentford Stadium. That tower is the London Museum of Water and Steam. Last year I walked this section here up to Kew Bridge, starting from Richmond down there. There's Kew Palace, view towards Strand on the Green, Hogwarts House, artist William Hogworth. Yeah, pretty interesting. Some nice looking houses there. They don't look like they were very expensive when they were built. Could even have been council houses, but surely not, with a view over the Thames. And this is Kew Bridge. As I said before, Kew Gardens is just over there. Some rowers out. Obviously the Thames is tidal, going out to the sea, and it's low tide at the moment. That will come right back up later. Not sure how long this will take, maybe 4 hours. I'm going to go real slow. Got your little freewheeler and coffee right there. It's coffee. All cakes. Yeah, super posh. The steam packet on the map they've just shown there's about 4 nice pubs down there. So much history along here. Just walk like just a few hundred metres. I'll read this stuff later. Yeah, so I only started just over there. Well, I got off the bus just over there, and that's the bridge. And that's apparently Kew Railway Bridge, and there's another famous pub here. There's just tons of history. Yeah. Path on the other side, I don't think it's as interesting. Could be wrong. But... So yeah, it's super posh around here. That pub's super posh. These houses are multi-millions. Right on the Thames. A beautiful view. No road access on this side. Yeah, and this is an island in the middle of the river that's famous. Lots of birds over there. God, these houses. Yeah, and that's the centre of Brentford, just over there. Brentford's like a working class area, but some nice flats, and there's a canal network that comes out. There's a canal basin and nice restaurants and things, and the new football stadium. It's got the train going over the bridge. This boat on a dry dock. It's been doing a bit of renovation to it. This is... This must be one of the nicest Thames walks in. Look at that house, Picton House. That's quite interesting. Weather forecast for today, 34 degrees, high tide, 3:44 PM. It's the 14th of August 2022. Another nice pub, the City Village. Let's keep going, it's a bit muddy on here. It's almost as if the river's come this high, so it's all muddy on there. I wonder if the Thames comes up over this sometimes. Now that's a blessing, no cycles. Cyclists in London, well anywhere actually, can be a little bit mad. So that's a really nice thing about this path. They don't allow any bikes. Got the rowers out there. Look at this. How beautiful. There's another pub there, that's the Bull. Oh, this is a drinking fountain that I saw. Apparently it's been restored. I might have a quick drink because I'm pretty thirsty. Right, so the 3 pubs have just been by, well, the 3 historic ones anyway. And the Bull's Head, licensed in 1722, has been the location of a pub for 400 years. Oliver Cromwell was reputed to have military councils in the pub during the English Civil War of 1642 to 1651. Wow, he chose a good location. Gee whiz. Oliver's Island. Oh, that derives from the name that Oliver Cromwell once took refuge there, and it was rumoured had a secret tunnel connected the island to the Bull's Head pub. Alright. Yes, I'm just coming away from the river now onto a residential street. Is this Thames Road, I think? But wow, beautiful houses, man. Those look out onto the river on the other side. Beautiful. So I was just on the road that I've just filmed, the residential road, and I spotted this sign. Warning, the riverside walk is flooded at high tide. The owners accept no liability for members of the public who use it entirely at their own risk. So it's Kew Gardens Riverside Walk, private property but open to the public till dusk, 7 AM to 6 PM October to March, and 7 AM to 9 PM April to September. Down here, I've got to do that, haven't I? I've got to do that. This is one of those days. It turned out to be really exciting. I was coming between two mansions. Oh, and the Thames is just out here, and I turn left. It said high tide's at 4 o'clock. It's low tide now, so I should be fine. Otherwise I'll have to swim. This could be muddy actually, I might not do this. I haven't got shoes for mud. Oh yeah, it's really muddy. It's one of those, shall I risk it? Looks like it's okay further down. I might risk it. More rows. I've taken the risk. I'm trying to walk in other people's footprints because it's dried out just up there. But yeah, the river comes right up onto this. I think back there where the path was muddy, it must do as well. These are people's private residences. Some rowers coming in on the train. But you can see how high the tide rises and falls, because down to there, from here where it comes up to, that's a few metres. Oof. They've got their wellies on, sensible people. But yeah, the mud should all dry out and come off later. So from that path that I just was on, the muddy one, you could see a rowing club, and it's the University of London's rowing club. And that's the university which I graduated from. Bit of trivia for you. Gotta say, I wasn't expecting a residential road like this to be along the Thames. So quiet. It's about 10:30 on 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. But you can hardly hear the tumbleweed coming down the road. It's just like I was going to say middle class neighbourhood, but you have to be a millionaire to own these properties. And the Thames is literally just on the other side there. So all these houses back onto the Thames. So quiet as this road is, there's a cyclist in a red jumper right in the distance there, and he just swore at a car, as you do. I think he said, "What the fuck was that overtaking manoeuvre?" And then he angrily shook his fist. Cyclists, you need to calm down, man. You've got to learn to meditate a bit. Jayen, as the Thais say. Cool heart. Only children show their emotions like that. We need to book all these cyclists on a trip to Thailand to get their anger out of them. Yeah, the properties on this road are ridiculous. That house, and those houses there. Oh my god. I'll have to check the prices later. See how far into the millions we have to go. Okay, I've just come back off the road and back onto the Thames here. I tell you what, this would be cracking for those live streamers that like stream non-stop for hours on end, to do this walk as a live stream. Hey, maybe even I could do it as a live stream if I work out how that works. Oh look, cormorant, you see on the rock there? Beautiful birds those. And it looks like the river comes up all the way to here, look. From down there. This is, I think, Chiswick Bridge. Chiswick's a place I've never been. Look at those houses. I mean, you've got the view onto the Thames, for starters. You've got little gardens, and then you've got a park. On top of having a garden, there's a park out front of your house. And those are like, some of them are 3-storey, I think some of them are 4-storey. They're mint. Looks like a rowing club over there. because I'm more of a jogger than a cyclist. I think joggers are more friendly than cyclists, but you tell me what you think. Oh, what a cracking walk. Wouldn't mind doing this with a friend actually. I might do it again with a friend, and like you can do the path on the other side. The thing about it is, and I noticed it even from the bridge, you're in trees a lot of the time, the view's obscured, whereas on this side it seems to be more open. Although on that side you can stay right next to the river all the way, whereas at times here you have to dip into the residential streets. There you go. Oh, absolutely fascinating stretch. So this is where a canal, an artificial channel, comes into the Thames, so you can get a canal boat in at high tide. There's a series of locks to even out the levels of the water, but yeah, I guess you can only do that at high tide. I think I go across here. Adventure! This feels like a proper adventure. Proper little adventure. Some barges up there. So that's Chiswick Bridge. See some nice old buildings on the other side. Old warehouse. The ship pub. I think that might be Barnes. It's a very posh area. And now the Thames, I think, goes up and round. I'm going to follow it up and round. I have to find out what that old warehouse is. There's a sign for Budweiser there. Maybe it's an old brewery. Been surprised by how quiet this path is and how beautiful it is. It's absolutely stunning. I know some people won't believe this, that know, well, maybe that don't know me so well, but I love quiet places, quite interesting places, rather than being in like Covent Garden or somewhere in central London where, you know, what's that one where all the kids like to go on the canal? Can't remember, but the busy places I'm not so keen on. I much prefer carrying my own picnic and coming somewhere like this. Yeah, so I've got this whole path virtually to myself. The stretch between Kingston upon Thames to Richmond, and then Richmond to Kew Bridge, whether you're on the Kew Gardens side or the Brentford side of the river, a lot more people, especially on the Kew Gardens side. Tons of people, but so quiet. Beautiful establishment, the White Hart. It looks like the path might be closed here for a little while. So the river's just here. We're in Hounslow, the borough of Hounslow. I hadn't realised. For some reason I thought Hounslow was south of the river. Once part of the Duke of Devonshire's Chiswick estate, Duke's Meadows comprises 187 acres of parkland in the London borough of Hounslow and is one of London's biggest centres for sport and leisure. Check this out. Football pitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, rugby 14, rugby 1, 2, 3. It's a really nice area. And there's the river. So that sign was just there on the river. Buildings there in the distance. Is that Vauxhall? Or is that further away? That might be Battersea and Vauxhall, but I thought it was further away. Let's go and find out. Absolutely beautiful. This is just Corney Reach just back there. Those willow trees, I might stop there and have some croissants. Ham cheese croissants that I've got in my bag. Or I might go a little bit further. It's a Fulham football stadium just around there. So, Strand Green. Strand on the Green, 3¼ miles. I think that's where I started from. Hammersmith Bridge, 1 mile. See that old anchor? I think that's an anchor, is it? And then the Lamb Brewery, it's beautiful. The river's just there. I'm going to try and find somewhere to sit by the river and have my lunch. Guided walk start here, 2:30 PM. Chiswick House and Grounds, Chiswick Village, Chiswick. Okay, very interesting. Old church as well. This is a really beautiful area, really beautiful. So that's interesting, these beautiful houses here. I think they own the gardens on the opposite side of the road here, next to the river. But obviously you've got the river, look, the water comes up to here. And then look, they've got private gardens overlooking the river. So this is where I was going to sit, in the willow trees, but unless I buy one of these houses, I'm not allowed, it's all private. This is a shame. Beautiful. Yeah, so at high tide, the river comes all the way. The river that's just there comes around the corner into the road. So at 4:40 today, I'll be standing in water. Interesting. These houses, wow. Never seen one of those before. That's cute. Oh, it's been used as that. This is Chiswick Mall. This is like, from what I can make out, like the tourist walk through Chiswick. River's just on the other side there. Tour, even though it's low tide. Yeah, I guess if you're in the middle of the channel it's still deep enough. I'm going to try and find a seat with some shade and have my food now. There's a pub there, I think it's a Black Lion or something. I only can't have a Black Lion, can you? Chiswick's so nice. What a splendid day. Not sure what that building is there. Big one in the distance. Yeah, another pub, the old ship. That's Hammersmith Bridge in the distance. I could hardly see it because it's green, it kind of blends in with the buildings, but you can see it in the distance there. There's a park. Let's see if we can get a seat in this next park. Yeah, I had no idea this part of London was this nice. Right, going down this little street now. It's beautiful, man. There's a little pub onto the river. So I just came out of the cute little street with the pub, and it's got a guy sunbathing. Nice park. Where's my bench in the shade? I should find one now, surely. Not too many people around, which is nice. So it's picnic time. Couldn't get a bench, but I've got a tree. Got my croissants. Yum cheese. They were frozen when I left this morning. They've actually gone crispy. I don't know if that's because they got so hot. Just had a fantastic picnic lunch. I don't think that was ham cheese twists. I think they were bacon cheese twists from Greg's. I've never had those before. Absolutely gorgeous. Those were not healthy, but bloody gorgeous. Learned to row at Furnival, and that pub there, Rutland Arms. That looks awesome, man. The rowers getting ready to row out. Bit hot for that, but been quite lucky on the walk. There's been a lot of shade. That woman up there in the red, she's got like 8 bags, massive not carrier bags, even proper bags of food. All these curries she's made, and the friends have not turned up. She's not happy. So that's Hammersmith Bridge. Here, Fulham Football Stadium is here, so I'm going to walk now along here. On the other side here, I think this is still Barnes, it's London Wetland Centre. It's like a huge area for birds. Oh, we've got water voles, kingfishers, cormorants, herons. Beautiful. Lots more exploring to do. Oh, I can see the football stadium. I can see the stand and the lights in the distance there. That's Craven Cottage, Fulham's football ground. And Chelsea is actually not that far. It's just over there. So another day I might start walking from Putney Bridge and go to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's ground, and do a walk around that area. But nice flats. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Got some litter pickers down here. I think they're picking up some sort of shellfish. No, I think they're doing a section of litter. It's good, but yeah, I wouldn't want to go swimming in that river. Not the cleanest. Wow, man, look at all these apartments. Fancy swanky restaurants. Ooh. What shall I have? Pan fried sea bream, £17.95. So that building there is Harrod's Furniture Depository. That's where they used to store all the furniture that they sold in the store. Football stadium. So looking back to Hammersmith Bridge is quite interesting. There's quite a lot of new development going on there. The red and grey buildings, I'm guessing they're just apartments, but the two blue buildings in the background, like office blocks, I wonder where that is. Is that Ealing Broadway? I'm going to have to find that out. And we're halfway to Fulham Stadium. Got this guy here feeding the seagulls. I think that's Fulham Stadium there. That's the corner of it. Hammersmith Bridge way back there. Oh yeah. Nice spot there. Yeah, so that guy's feeding the seagulls just there, the one I talked to. And that's Fulham Football Stadium. So you can't get along the river here, I'm going to have to go in and around it. But it looks like they've got, there's a hotel on here. They've got rooms overlooking the river. I don't know if you can book those or if they're for players when they're coming to the ground. Nice stadium, great location. And that's the London wetland zone over the other side. I'll have to go and check that out one day. And this is, on a match day, the entrance to the, or one of the entrances to Fulham Football Club. Beautiful, we've got a terrace right along the river. This is the other side of Fulham Football Stadium, away from the river. Just come from that little alley there. That's beautiful. The main stander, the one next to the river's a lot higher. Beautiful old stadium, so they've kept this old fascia. That's so beautiful. So I think there was a game. There's a game here yesterday. Mitrovic missed a penalty yesterday. There's Fulham striker who was in my fantasy football team, so he's not in my good books now. In fact, he got removed from the team today. He almost got sent off yesterday as well. Decent player, but tends to lose his nut. There we go, established 1880, so 142 years old. That's a pretty old stadium. And across the street it's all residential. Beautiful. Oh, okay, they're building this new stand along the riverside at the moment. Well, it looks like it's almost finished. And once it's opened, I think the public are going to be able to use the walkway along the Thames. And there you can see Putney Bridge, where I'm going next to get the bus back. Really nice. So on this side you've got the original stand from 1880, and then on the river you've got the brand new stand, which is super modern. They've got like apartments here, like private rooms, restaurants. Oh, it's so nice. So this is the far side of Fulham Stadium, where they're using to access for development of a new stand. There's a park, and I'm going back to the Thames here to do the final stretch. There's this giant bouncy play thing. I've never seen anything like it. It's like a village. If you were a kid and you saw that, you'd go nuts, wouldn't you? It's amazing. So when it's finished, you'll be able to walk right along there. I don't know what you can see. I'll have to look at that later. This is my final stretch back to Putney Bridge. Oh, this is going to be my last little rest stop. I found an empty bench in the shade that is dedicated to Gertrude Mabel Salmon, who died in 1969. So on the other side there you've got Putney and loads of rowing clubs. You can see all the boats stacked up on there. As they do the boat race. Is this where it starts from? I can't remember. I don't know anything about the boat race, but I've got a feeling Putney's maybe the start or the finish of it. Yeah, look at all those boats and pubs with terraces. I've walked along there once. It's very beautiful. So I was just thinking next week I might actually take the bus out from where I live over there through Putney, and one of the bus terminates just over there, and I could walk to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea Stadium, and then I could do a bit further. I could do a circuit up to Stamford Bridge. Look at all the sunbathers out here. Not that I'm trying to catch anyone out. They don't really get sunbathers around where I live. God, it's packed. All out there sunbathing. I never sunbathe. Yeah, personally I never sunbathe. Give me like an iced coffee and a shady coffee shop. I'll take that any day of the week. I've got like a pool. So nice. So there's a beautiful park back there. Got the sunbathers section, like the grass where they all sunbathe. Then there's a lake. Then there's what they call, I think it's the beach. It's a massive sandpit full of kids, so I didn't film that. And there's a playground there. I can hear them all screaming. And this is Fulham. It's a park in Fulham, next to the Thames River. Absolutely beautiful. What's in that cage down there? Not sure. Nice fitness park. I've got the pull-up bars, sit-up boards. I've got this thing where I think you lift the weights up. Haven't seen that over in any other parks. Table tennis, skate park. Yeah, they must have a lot of money, Fulham Council. They seem to spend it well. And then the park continues down here alongside the river. Beautiful park, massive trees. Yeah, unfortunately I'm an action man, I can't sit about. Unless it's a coffee shop, I can sit in a coffee shop for hours. As long as the aircon's nice and cool. Yeah, so high tide's due about 4:40 today. It was the lowest of the low tides when I started my walk. this morning. I can't remember exactly what time it was, 10:30 or something. But now you can see the speed with which the water's coming in. That's the water coming in from the sea. So I guess the Thames barrier must be open. They only close that if there's going to be a tidal surge. So there's an old dude with this orange tractor coming down, emptying all the bins along the river in this beautiful park. You can't see behind me, but you'll see it in the video. And he works for the company that I worked for last summer. I basically did what this guy's doing, except I did it in Kingston. This would be a beautiful park to work in, man. Get that job. Drive that little orange tractor around, empty the bins, do a bit of odd jobbing around the park. Great stuff in the summer. Not that bad in the winter, to be honest. It rains, just you don't do much. So that's going towards London, central London. You can see Wandsworth Park there. That's the burnt out grass. I walked before across Richmond Park, and I picked up the river in Putney here, and then walked to Vauxhall along the river. It's a pretty nice walk. But yeah, Wandsworth Park's pretty nice. All the Chelsea fans on the way to the game that starts today at 4:30 against Spurs. Mason Mount there. Spurs at 4:30. Yeah, so that's Putney High Street. I'm going to walk down there. I'm trying to find some Tom Yum Goong Thai noodles. More Chelsea fans going to the game. So next time I come, I'm going to get the bus up here, hop off and walk. There's some new buildings through the gap there as well. I'm going to walk to Stamford Bridge and then do a loop around, see some areas I've not seen before. Nice church. Yeah, it's a really beautiful spot. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty tired now. It's been a long day. So I'm just checking on one of my cafes here. Everything looks okay. That's Putney High Street. It's pretty ordinary. Pretty much every normal shop you'd expect. It's quite nice. Bill's restaurant. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Greg's.